Founded in 1973 by Dr. Ed Catmull of the New York Institute of Technology, Pixar was created as a CGI rendering company used for medical and commercial purposes. In 1982, the team began working on film sequences with the Industrial Light and Magic on special effects. Their work is best known for the Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, and in commercials such as Tropicana, Listerine, and Lifesavers. Pixar, as I said, was a division of Lucasfilms. Lucas decided that he would sell the company to Steve Jobs in 1973 to begin their startup. Pixar was not a division of Walt Disney Studios. In fact, Walt Disney Studios was one of the buyers of the Pixar Image Computer, a computer used for 2D and 3D animations. The computer never sold well. In bid to drive the sales of the system, Pixar employee John Lasseter created short animations. This one seen here, Luxo Jr., the short film about the precarious lamp, eventually became the mascot for Pixar. Pixar short films became extremely popular. Before every Pixar movie, there is a Pixar short film. We'll talk about those later. After receiving great fanfare from his short films, Lasseter and the rest of the Pixar team made a $26 million deal with Disney to produce 3 computer-animated feature films, the first of which was Toy Story. Despite this deal with Disney, the company still lost money. Even in late 1994, Steve Jobs considered selling Pixar to a branch of Microsoft. It was only until after learning that Toy Story was a booming success that Steve Jobs kept the project afloat. The film grossed over $361 million worldwide. One down, 2 to go. A Bug's Life in 1998 was the second on Lasseter's list. Not only was the script as good as Toy Story, but Pixar had made striving innovations in their computer animation. During production, the filmmakers became embroiled in a public feud, however, with DreamWorks over the similar film Ants. But it's okay because Ants sucked. A Bug's Life was released in November 25, 1998 by Walt Disney Pictures and was a box office success, grossing over $360 bajillion. No, I'm just kidding. It was $360 million. I just ran over my words. After the great success of Toy Story and A Bug's Life, you think by the third time Pixar would have gotten it right. Toy Story 2 was on the horizon. In November 1997, Disney executive Roth and Peter Schneider viewed the story's reels with some finished animation in the Pixar screening room. They were impressed with the quality of the work, but Toy Story was in the crapper. Toy Story 2 is most famously known among the staff for the associated controversy and trouble in production. Many of the Pixar staff were not happy with how the sequel was turning out. As common with Pixar features, the production became difficult as delivery dates loomed and hours inevitably became longer. Still, Toy Story 2 and its highly compressed production schedule was especially trying. While hard-working long hours were common to the team at this point, running flat on Toy Story 2 for month after month had taken its toll. Overwork spun out into carpal tunnel syndrome for some animators and repetitive strain injuries for others. Pixar did not encourage long hours, in fact. They set limits on how many hours employees could work by approving or disapproving overtime. An employee's self-imposed compulsion to excel, however, often trumped any other constraints, and was especially common among younger employees. In one instance, an animator had forgotten to drop his child off at daycare one morning, in a mental haze, forgotten that the baby was in the back seat of the car in the parking lot. But hey, everything's okay. Toy Story 2 grossed $485 million worldwide, beating Pixar's previous releases. Next up in 2001, Pixar released Monsters,
hello there. What's your name?
Mike Wazowski.
Monsters, Inc. reaches over $100 million in domestic box office. Now you're probably thinking that that's a lot less than Toy Story 2, but nope, that $100 million was just after 9 days. This broke the record for the fastest grossing animated film in history. It received 2 Academy nominations for Best Song by Randy Newman and would take home an Oscar for If I Didn't Have You from the Monsters, Inc. soundtrack. In 2003, Finding Nemo was released on May 30th. It broke opening weekend box office records domestically for an animated feature. Wait, didn't we just talk about that with Monsters, Inc.? Finding Nemo was nominated for 4 Academy Awards and won the Oscar for Best Animated Feature. In 2004, The Incredibles is released on November 5th. Its weekend box office was over $70 million, breaking all Pixar records. Do you see a pattern here? Nominated for 4 Academy Awards and winning 2 for Best Animated Feature and Achievement in Sound Editing, The Incredibles kept the pace. In 2006, Disney releases Cars. In 2007, Pixar officially becomes its own entity. Free from Disney, but still under the Disney umbrella, they released Ratatouille on June 29th. Ratatouille is nominated for 5 Academy Awards and wins an Oscar for Best Animated Feature. In 2008, oh my god, Pixar releases WALL-E on June 27th. The film is nominated for 6 Academy Awards and takes home the Oscar for Best Animated Feature. In 2009, Pixar releases a film with a similar title to their success, Up. Up was nominated for 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. It took home the Oscar for Best Animated Feature and Best Original Score.
Please let me in.
No.
In 2010, Toy Story 3 is released on June 18th. Oh my god, my feelings. It will become the highest grossing animated film of all time and the first to reach the $1 billion mark. Toy Story 3 was nominated for 5 Academy Awards and won the Best Oscar for Best Animated Feature, Best Original Song, and 2 other ones that aren't listed on the site, but I was in a rhythm, so I'm going to keep talking in this voice. In 2011, Pixar celebrates its 25th anniversary and constructs one of the greatest films of all time, Cars 2. In 2012, Pixar releases Brave, the animated comedy about a spicy redhead with a bow. Brave would go on to win the Academy Award for Best Animated Film Feature of the Year, beating out Frankenweenie. This year's release in 2013 is Monsters University. This should be nice since I'm going to college. I hope it's good, just like Cars 2. Also in production is The Good Dinosaur, set to release in 2014. And Toy Story 4 has also been announced. I know I'm forgetting one. Oh yeah, in 2015 Pixar is going to release Finding Dory. Why? Now, we briefly talked about Luxo Jr. and how the lamp became the mascot for Pixar, but let's talk about some of the other short films. Let's go down the list. Next was Red's Dream, Tin Toy, Knick Knack, For the Birds, Boundin', One Man Band, Lifted, Presto, Partly Cloudy, Day and Night, and La Luna. And my personal favorite, Jerry's Game. I don't know the magic formula that goes into making a Pixar movie. The films have an extremely fast pace, but seem to cram in a story and character development without feeling rushed. I don't know what it takes to strike gold in the box office each year, and I don't know why people in the theater cried during the first 10 minutes of Up. But what I do know is that Pixar is the embodiment of what filmmaking should be. Now enjoy the rest of Jerry's Game.